In the foreground of this image, you can see the Houston neighborhood of Manchester. In the background, there are multiple plumes of unidentified gases coming from a petroleum refinery operated by Valero Energy Corporation. This single refinery emits millions of pounds of poisonous and carcinogenic gases every year. 3 of the 4 sides of Manchester are surrounded by this refinery. The remaining side is blocked in by a train yard 25 tracks wide. This side of the refinery completely blocks the view of what used to be Buffalo Bayou. Now it is known as the Houston Ship Channel. This once thriving ecosystem has been reduced to a mere machine at the service of commerce. The Karankawa people lived along the banks of this bayou for thousands of years, drinking its waters and eating its fish. Since European colonists began settling along its banks in the early 19th century, it has become a mechanism to produce capital and serve the interests of business. Today, industrial development continues uninterrupted from downtown Houston, 50 miles southeast to the Gulf of Mexico. This giant symbol of colonialism and capitalism comprises the largest petrochemical complex on Earth, and one of the most environmentally destructive projects ever carried out. Valero is not the only corporation polluting the air and water of the neighborhood. This is Manchester, in the center of this image. Now highlighted is the Valero Refinery, a Rodea specialty chemical plant, a car crushing facility, a wastewater treatment plant, a Lyondell Basal Citgo refinery, a large train yard for hazardous cargo, a Goodyear synthetic rubber plant, a Texas petrochemicals refinery, and on top of all of that, one of the busiest highways in Houston.
3rd Ward and 5th Ward, Manchester, all the surrounding neighborhoods that are around downtown area are the oldest neighborhoods, and they get affected more by the pollution because the power plants are so close to the inner city. So I think that people need to really take into consideration that these neighborhoods are suffering. The chemicals go in the clouds and it rains and the chemicals come right back down. It's pretty much obvious. It don't take rocket scientists. You know, kids know that. You go to, you talk to a 3rd grader in school and they're gonna know that the chemical, whatever goes in the clouds with the rain, it comes back down. So I mean, people need to understand that these neighborhoods are getting affected by these chemicals.
Me gustaría que nos compraran el lugar para irnos de aquí, para irnos a otro lugar más seguro. Es insoportable el aroma que dan las refinerías. ¿Y qué podemos hacer? Pues nomás aguantarnos. Aquí la mayoría, si se van preguntando en las casas, van a encontrar que hay mucha gente enferma. Pero ¿qué se puede hacer si somos un grupo minoritario que no podemos hacer nada? Y solamente tenemos que aguantar las cosas que pasan aquí. Y también tenemos la que muele carros aquí enseguida, al otro lado del 610, que muele y sobre todo los carros en los frenos contienen mucho asbesto. Y todo eso al estarlo moliendo se están yendo en el aire, el polvo. Y pues no se puede hacer nada, pero no solamente estamos recibiendo todos esos químicos.
The neighborhoods of Manchester and Magnolia and other neighborhoods within the east end of Houston are living examples of environmental racism because definitely we have the highest incidence of diesel emissions because of the heavy traffic that is going toward the ports. The actual presence of the port within the neighborhoods, which requires tons of emissions from all the maritime vessels and ships that come to the port, and the constant traffic of trains, all the compiled activity that goes to supplement industry or is industry itself, such as the shipping industry or the petrochemical industry or the freight industry, all of it combines to increase the presence of air contaminants and therefore makes our neighborhoods the most polluted neighborhoods in the United States.
passionate about a lot of things, and I stand up for what I believe in. And if it affects the kids, then yeah, it's a big problem. It's a big deal. It's a real big deal. So I'm willing to stand up for what I believe in.
So I suffer a lot, and I cough all the time whenever I go to the park. So Valero, stop poisoning our community.